I came to bless you. I came to bless you. Yeah, my mama raised me right. Come on, girl, it's just polite. Gotta keep your chin up high. Blessings on blessings on blessings. I'm spending days after days in these sessions, leaving one studio onto another. I'm laying verses that's smoother than butter, and I be spreading.
Oh man, I don't know. Usually, like it's like different now too, because usually we just like get rolling and everybody's, it's weird. It's been a while since it's been just two people, like me and somebody else. Usually, like it's either like L.Y.F.E is here. Like there's usually like
there's
at
a lot
least
more conversation
people.
flowing.
There's usually three people here. It's usually either Krispy or L.Y.F.E is here or Kayla was here, and now it's it's back to two, and that was how it was when we first started.
Yeah.
Because you were the first one over at the other spot.
Yeah. I was the first one.
At the other spot, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
That's how long it's been.
So does that mean I was episode 1?
No, that was just the first one at that spot. What episode were you? Now I'm trying to remember.
I felt like I was like, I don't know, like.
Now I gotta look it up.
10 or 12 or something.
You were somewhere around there. Now I gotta look. You got me curious. It's like, I look back and I'm like, dang, that person was like that episode. I'm like, damn. Because it's like when I gotta scroll, it's something else, man. It's something else. Hold on, let's see. Krispy, Frederick, Shelby. Like, I can't believe Shelby was 21. Sunday play. Let's see. Damn. Episode 30. And we're on 85.
Wow.
That's how long it's been.
55 episodes later.
55 episodes later.
That's incredible, man.
You were the first one in the spot because you were the first one too where I did the change in the graphics where I put like people.
Fancy.
So it's like first ring, popping cherries left and right.
Popping cherries, like that.
What's been going on since, man? Like it's been a minute. Even just like us hanging out.
Yeah. Trying to actually think back to where L.Y.F.E was when I.
That was. Let's get a
timestamp on that.
Let's get a timestamp for that. That's a good one for it. So September of 22. Damn.
Okay.
Jeez, that puts things in super perspective now.
Yeah. Well,
September of 22.
A year. So. Wow. So since then, moving into. I can't even think of what I did at the end of 2022. Probably nothing.
I think you were just finished coming off tour. Like coming off tour.
No, so
into tour.
No. I came back from tour beginning of 2022. So like end of 2021 into 2022.
It's been that long?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. So what happened was the whole game plan following, which is kind of like what we talked about, was like life after tour. Mm-hmm. Because the game plan was to like stack some bread and get back out on the road. And, that is harder. It's easily said than done.
Fact. 100%.
So what I ended up doing was focusing on like just like trying to do as much that I could from here without like going back out on the road. Mm-hmm. So started working with Knox Beats a lot.
Shout out to Knox.
And that was incredible. That was like a huge feat like that I've been working up to in my career for a while. So has been amazing working with him. He's like showed me new levels of even myself that that I was just like not knowing I was missing, I guess.
Yeah.
So crazy to work with him for production, crazy to work with him as an engineer. We put out Bless You,
Yep.
So definitely like tried something new for the first time, was like pushed in a way creatively that I hadn't been prior. And then we recorded quite a few other tracks throughout the last year, none of which I've dropped. I've been holding out. Some of which have like insane features that I haven't told like anyone about.
Yeah.
And I've just been holding on to. Because there are talks of potential videos for those and whatnot, but came back around to doing, singles, not involving any features and stuff. So I have a single with Knox that I am insanely proud of. Probably like my favorite song I've ever made, I would argue. And was able to shoot a crazy music video with Ben Prue.
Shout out to Ben too.
Ben's a beast. I mean,
Ben is Ben.
Our last podcast, I was just like talking about what a help he was, and even like introducing me to Webby and getting me on tour and stuff. But like he's out in Korea right now.
What the heck?
And and in between like finishing his last like K-pop video and then this most recent song he did, the name of the artist is escaping me, real big pop singer. He shot his music video, and like amongst editing that fit me in, we were able to shoot a video where I shaved my head.
I did see some previews of that.
Right, because through Krispy, right?
Yeah.
So Krispy was there for the behind the scenes. Shout out Krispy. Definitely captured some amazing footage. But yeah, man, I basically shaved my whole head, made a crazy music video involving Studio Labs out of Derry, New Hampshire.
Yep.
They have this huge screen that is like you could shoot major motion pictures on. Like instead of using green screen or something like that, they do a lot of these Hollywood movies with like projecting an actual like 3D area.
Yeah.
Like basically the last like Batman movie that came out, I think was, it's like it shows him like on the top of a building with a cityscape. It's like that's just him in front of a big screen.
Yeah.
So I was able to use that, and we put some cool shit on the screen, and yeah, it's been exciting. I haven't been able to really like release anything because every time I like create something now, I'm like, this has to get the proper amount of attention and whatnot. Like I got to put the real like love and creativity that I put into the song and the videos into the ultimate rollout with everything. And so I've kind of been sitting quietly, just creating. And that's what took me through all of like 2023. And now we're in 2024, and I think it's time I start showing some people what I've been up to.
About some time. Yeah, it's about that time.
Remarkable thing is that, like, you know, with MOCG, we have, you know, just like been sitting on like songs here and there where like we finally like get together and like write a track, maybe record a track, and like working with you guys again, where we're not so busy with like our solo careers that we can like make a track together and make it fun again. And I'm excited to like roll that out amongst these other like singles that I have. As much as it seems like things have been like in a lull and like quiet, it's like it's really like momentum building.
Yeah. There's so much way more behind the scenes than I know. I feel like you and I, like, I know we haven't like talked in a while, you know, just life in general, but like I think like we're similar wavelengths in the sense of, I mean, like you definitely have like the videos down, which I'm like super excited to see. But like, you know, working with a producer, like, you know, I'm working with Mertz, and like he's helped me see like now when I listen to tracks, I hear them completely different than I did before. And, you know, and just being able to hear those little things and like creatively like plug things in, I'm like, this is super dope. And this is like going to change like the production that him and I have been working on, and the album that I've been working on now. It's like it's definitely like next level for what I've been doing, and like I'm excited for people to hear it and to see the change, especially after Apartments. You know, people waiting 10 years for Apartments to now it's like, you know, because for me it was, you know, what now? Like, what do I do now? I spent all this time putting this project together. Like, what now? You know, but, you know, just working a lot in silence. Like, musically, like, I haven't put anything out since Apartments, you know? And
Yeah, I mean, that was a major project, though.
Yeah.
You know, like, sometimes, like, there's different ways for drops and stuff, and I think when people put out, a very complete body of work like that, it's like you let that sit and
that
like
was the plan. I'm like, I'm not getting anything that is going to smother over this
Right.
or
Soak
take it
that.
over. Like, the only thing that, you know, because the only thing that I've released recently was, you know, my song Don't Stop Rise Up, which I just dropped on the 23rd with, you know, same day as Michael Murph
big
on
congrats.
his Lotto track. But like, other than that,
Shout out Michael Murphy
yeah,
III.
Michael Murph, you know, shout him out. Episode right before this one, check it out. That's a throwback. Y'all need to check that one out too. But yeah, I mean, I've just been underground, you know, really, unless I'm doing the podcast. Like,
That's the thing is, like, you have been at least, like, you know, putting out some form of content. Like, you've been steady. I've been like barely even posting on Instagram.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
I just kind of like I got I feel like beginning of 2023 I tried my best to just be like content heavy, and I was posting on like TikTok every single day.
Yeah.
And then just was like, this isn't making me happy. This is not what I want to be spending my time doing. And then, you know, getting to like work with Knox and like making music and pushing myself like creatively was just so much more rewarding. And same as you, like, you know, putting out my last album Before and After and taking that out on tour and stuff, it was just like I wanted that to sit. I wanted that to get soaked up. Like all like the songs on that album are like my best performing songs ever.
Yeah.
Like,
I love all of them.
So it's like even putting out Bless You, it hasn't performed the same way as songs off of the Before and After album. And so like that is like by far the highest quality track that I've ever made, and it's just it's like different. I guess it's not necessarily the Just for Kicks people are used to, but it's just like, you know, I'm experimenting again. I have things that I'm like making that I'm comfortable with, and then things that I'm like completely experimenting with, and like both I'm like very happy with.
Yeah, as long as you're happy with it, I think
that's all that we've ever been doing, right? Like, it's like you get lost in the sauce a little bit.
Facts.
But I remember how happy I was like when you were bringing up Mertz. Like Mertz recorded, or not necessarily recorded, but engineered Local Celebrity. It was 13 Ball recorded a lot of it because we had artists from New England coming through the studio, MOCG Studios, and like he was tracking a lot of that. But Mertz was engineering that, and like he's, you know, excelled so much since then, like we all have creatively, but even just back then, like I know the experience that you're having, like going to the studio and like sitting with him and creating, because it was such a quality experience doing that with him for Local Celebrity.
Yeah.
And I can't even imagine just now, like in the ways that he's leveled up sonically and what that must be doing for you, like getting out of going there, having them produce the tracks and work on them.
It just gives a lot of insight into things that like I don't know about, you know? And like even like some of the like one of the sessions that we did, like we were, you know, he's putting something together and then all of a sudden like he pulls a mic out and then just grabs a chain and then just starts like dripping it in front of the thing. And then, you know, he grabs like a lock and just starts like twisting it.
Damn.
And then like puts it into it. And I was like, yo, what is happening?
Yes.
I was like, yo, this sounds sick. But I was like, you know, obviously, you know, you add effects and change it up a little bit.
Right. You can almost not even tell that's what the noise originally came from. It's crazy.
But it was just like, and I'll show you after. I meant to show the guys the other day, but like he played, I forget what instrument it was. And like he played like the original. And then, you know, he does his little magic touch to it. And it like sounds completely different. And I was like, my mind, like I know music can expand into many different areas and sounds and whatever, but actually being there and witnessing it and seeing that stuff, you're like, okay, like this can get very interesting if we do this right, because there's like no limit to where you can really take it.
There's literally no limit. You were talking about like crazy samples, like working with Knox. The reason that we called that song "Bless You" is because Knox sneezed. I said "Bless You," and then he just sampled that. Like,
whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, like the original cut is just him, like so violently sneezing, and then you just hear me like subtly in the background, like "Bless You." And so we had that in the very beginning, and we ended up like cutting that so that it just like comes in hard with the track like immediately.
Yeah.
And then, but you can like when it hits like that chorus, it's like hi, and you just hear this like yeah, like it's like it's a sample. That's
him.
why.
Damn.
That's why we named.
So you're like middle of recording, and he just like,
yeah, he was just like still producing a beat. And I was writing, and he just did that. But it's just like it's so funny working with him, and then just like coming to understand how some of these like great songs have come out, like Token's Cough. Now I get it.
Yeah,
like it's just he just coughed, and then we're like, well, all right, let's run it. Let's see what we can do with this. It's just like the creativity of making like nothing from. Or making something from nothing is just like incredible. So like it's like so funny that merch just like keeps like chains and locks and stuff around.
Yeah, he pulled out like he had a whole box and he just like opened it up and then literally was just like, and I was like dead quiet in there, and you just hear like click, click, like on beat, like with it, and just click. And I was like, yo, what is happening? Like, because he can hear everything, but like me, it's like dead quiet in the room, and all I hear is click. And then he plays it. I'm like, yo, okay, all right, that's such a good filler. I was like, yo, what is happening right now? It's crazy. Yeah, I remember I was doing something with the kids, and we were talking about sampling, and like I started looking up just like random samples, like whether it was like, you know, songs that were sampled and put into like new age stuff. I was like, you guys like, you know, wouldn't believe like some of the stuff that gets sampled into your stuff now is like from the past. And like I remember looking up one. And it was the sample that they used was the seatbelt sound from like a BMW.
Wow.
Like whatever it was, you know, whatever tone that it gave, like they sampled that in the song. I'm like, who thinks of something like that? Like I can't even. It blows my mind sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like you're just like ding, ding, and you're like, yo, that's a fire beat. You're like, wait, what?
I do regret not executing on some crazy ideas we had back in the day, like me and Q Quick when like I first started rapping. Like we were just like we would be like at a diner and like you just like have like a butter knife and you're just like making noises with it, and we're like, oh, we should sample this. It's just like you never get around to it.
Yeah. But you never know, like you said, like just the stuff that comes out of it, like and how far you can expand it, especially the way that you can engineer it. And make it sound, and it not sound what you think, and then they're like, "What is that?" And you're like, "Actually, that's a butter knife." Just in case you were wondering, by the way, they're like, oh, I thought it was like something else, and you're like, no, butter knife.
No, butter knife.
Like cool story to tell after, you know,
Yeah,
and share with people.
for
And people are
sure.
just like, oh, okay.
No, yeah. I mean, we have the technology now. You can make like almost anything sound like something completely different.
Yeah.
But you have to take unique sources because otherwise, if you just use drum packs and all that, it's like it sounds like everything else.
Yeah, that's true.
It's boring.
That's true, you know, and it's, you know, as music changes, as time changes, you know, you have to think of something different. I mean, that's just how the way music has been anyways. Like, just the sound of music is so different than the 90s, than the 2000s, and then obviously the 10s, and now the 20s, you know.
Yeah.
It's just constantly changing, and it's cool that people are, like, trying to push boundaries on what can sound like what, and then now you get all these, you know, packs that you can add and download and, you know, put into your system. Your I can't even think of the word that I'm trying to think of.
Your like library of
Like
sounds?
libraries and stuff that you can, you know, now put it. It's like, oh, if you download this, it'll give you this effect, and then everybody's
like packs.
Yeah,
to sound
I
packs.
can't think
and
of
stuff. I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about, but you know, it's like you can do anything, really. It's just on how you use it.
Yeah, one thing that I want to get into just because I've never been a producer and I think I think I made like one quote unquote beat on Fruity Loops demo like way long time ago. Oh yeah. It was just like a poor attempt at, and like that was like the second song that I ever made or something like that, but terrible sounding. But what I am interested in is they make something now where you can like use a microphone to like basically speak a sound, and then this like vocoder like takes that and transforms it into whatever sound that you want. So like if you know like you're gonna need a hi-hat, like you can like do the rhythm, like you can be like and like then you can make that sound like whatever you need it to sound like, but at least like instead of like building the beat, I can just do that and then quantize it if I have like a song in my head. And I don't know if I would use it for the final product or just to like lay down the concept of the beat so that I can get out the lyrics and the hook or whatever that came to me in the shower or something like that.
Yeah, right.
And then I want to play with that for sure.
That'd be a cool tool, like you said, because if you have something in your head, you're like, how do I, you know, tell this to somebody without forgetting it too?
And I just I can't do it with my fingers, but like I can do it with my mouth. You know what I mean? So it's like I might as well like be able to like get something out. Yeah. And I don't know if that would turn into like just producing for myself with that, or if it would just be like simply something that I could take and then bring it to Knox or something and you know turn it into something bigger.
I think either way it'll be beneficial, even if you do use it just for like a sample, a demo. You know, it's like I was doing like when I was doing apartments, like I would make all the demos here, so I knew what I wanted it to sound like or just like a rough idea, and then when I recorded it with Mertz, it was like, okay, like this is where I want to beat drop. This is, you know, and I would do all the vocals, but I knew exactly what I wanted. But now we just brought it to the studio and like I don't have to waste time. Like we can just be like, yo, like let's layer this out, and then if, you know, once that's down, like if there's anything we want to add to it, we can do that here and not waste time, you know.
No, I mean time is the most valuable asset.
Seriously.
You don't want to waste time for sure.
No, not at all.
But
Especially,
it's hard when like you're like trying to like come up with stuff creatively, because almost like the pressure is what gives you like writer's block and things like that. Like whereas you just have like an idea, that's when you want to capture it, and that's why I feel like that vocoder thing would be so impressive. Like just to like capture the idea at least immediately.
Right. And then you don't have that pressure because, like you said earlier, you know, getting back with the team and stuff, and being able to, being happy, like creating music, like that's what I've been trying to focus on too, is just like not putting so much pressure on myself of, you got to create, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to put something out, you got to put content out. It's like, dude, because now yes, it's a business, but it's supposed to be fun at the same time. And
yeah, I mean, why
you're making it so stiff when it needs to be loose?
And you can hear it. You can hear when it's stiff. Like my favorite people to work with are like young cats that are like, it's still new, it's still fresh, it's like fun for them. You can tell, like, even if it's like a lower quality recording, they just got with their boys or their friends or whatever, and they just like made a track that is like fun, and you can hear the energy.
Yeah, it's a different sound.
That is like, I would way rather listen to that than like something super calculated or whatnot. And that's what I've been trying to do, is like, one thing that Knox like brought out of me was like, he was just like, well, I want to like dive into who you really are, so that I can like make a track with you. Like when I first was going to go there, my boy Ready Set Toast, who was living with me at the time, was like, yo, like, well, what if like Knox wants to make some like hard banger stuff that like, like you're usually like happy-go-lucky, like are you cool with that? I'm like, yeah, man, like I want to explore some things, right? And I get there, and then Knox is like, yo, so here's what I want to do. I want to make like a fun, like smiley, like poppy song. And I'm like, that's mad funny, because like, yeah, that's like the type of stuff I want to make, and so that's why we made Bless You. It was just something fun, something like upbeat. Right. But then like from there, he was just like, well, I really want to like figure out like who you are and like what your roots are. And that's when we explored like the fact that before I ever rapped or anything, when I was like a kid, like, everybody when they're a kid, you ask them, they got some like far-fetched thing they want to do when they grow up, right? Like,
yeah.
Everybody wants to be. That's the first one that came to mind. I was gonna say astronaut. Like, I'm looking at basketballs as like basketball player or something like that. Like, mine was being a pro wrestler. Okay. So I took it very seriously. Like, I watched everybody on the TV and like and tried to understand everything that they were doing, from like just like the mic segments to each and every move, and would wrestle with my neighbor all the time in the yard, even though they say don't try it at home. Every single one of you is trying it at home. Yeah, absolutely. And so, when I was 15, I went to like a pro wrestling like academy to like be professionally trained on like being a wrestler. And it's it used to be Walter Killer Kowalski School of Wrestling. It's changed names quite a few times. The time when I was there, it was like ran by Chaotic Wrestling. And I think now it's like New England Pro Wrestling School or something like that. But it's the same place like Kofi Kingston graduated from shortly before I was there. I wrestled with this girl, Sasha Banks. I think she goes under a different name now, that she's in like New Japan Wrestling, but she like was like a huge diva for the WWE under the name Sasha Banks, and like her first time in a ring, like I was there, like we taught each other like body slams because I was a 15-year-old scrawny kid and she was like a smaller woman, and so I took it very seriously for a long time. But at like 16 years old, people were like getting hurt. We were learning how to German suplex, where you like throw yourself, like you throw somebody over you like backwards. Yeah. And you both land on your neck. Oh, right. And like there's been like a lot of people that have been paralyzed from doing that. Right. And they know what they're doing. Yeah. I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. And you don't know what you're doing, whoever I'm doing it with, right? And so like, the instructor, who then we called Handsome Johnny, he is now known as Ivar. He's a WWE superstar as well. He was like, oh, I'll do it with you. I'll make sure you're safe. And I was like, nah, man, like you're like 250, maybe 300 pounds, dude, and I'm like 40 pounds. Like,
yeah, right.
Like I was a very small teenager, so I was still small, but I was like so scared, and I just remember being like, well, I don't want to be like paralyzed. I really want to like. This is what was going through my head at that age. Walking at graduation and dancing at prom. Those were like my priorities.
Yeah.
Like
I
I was
like
like,
my
yo,
legs.
this is like things I need to check off my bucket list in life.
Yeah.
And so I didn't do it, but I decided after a couple of weeks of like kind of holding myself back, I was like, well, if I'm not putting my 100% in, like I'm not moving forward like the rest of the classes, like clearly like this isn't for me. So I stepped away, and a couple years after, watched all of these people like running down the ramp, because I was like babysitting some kids up the street from me, and they liked wrestling. I was like, oh, I used to watch this stuff all the time, and like all the people coming down the ramp are people that I wrestled with, and I'm like, wow, like so it was there for the taking. Like it wasn't this like far-fetched dream that like everyone like wants you to believe. It's like you can really do it. Do anything really. It's just you just got to stick to it. You can't quit. So the reason I say all this is because I was explaining this to Knox, and we decided to make a wrestling track, and that's one of the songs that I have a feature, like crazy feature, someone I've always wanted to make music with, and so we made a crazy like wrestling track, and I'm excited, so excited. But when you're talking about samples, like he had like just like someone screaming in there. He had like the bell ringing.
I was thinking that was the first thing.
All kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. And actually, Berserk, who is a rapper out of Mass, on Local Celebrity, I had Mertz mix it. We made a track called Face First, where we like had all this like the sample of the dinging and stuff, and we referenced a bunch of wrestling stuff. That one we never got around to making the music video for, but I was like, dude, I'm like trained how to do this stuff, and he's like, yeah, man, like same as you. I've like grew up like watching, I know all the moves and stuff, so we were gonna like rent a wrestling ring and like do a crazy music video and stuff, and it just never came to fruition, unfortunately. That would have been sick. Yeah, and I don't have the heart to like do it with this new feature, because like if that was gonna happen, it should have been with Berserk. Like, you know. But it's cool to like make another wrestling track, and for any of like the pro wrestling fans out there that still dig it, and I'm very, very excited to like go back to my roots with that. Another one we made was like the other feature that I have. Again, insane features. I just like could have only hoped to ever record tracks with these people, and I'm just glad to have them, and that's why I'm like holding on to them to dear life, and like because once you release it, it's almost like it's like not done or gone, like, you know what I mean, but like I'm just soaking in the moment, just holding on to it. And only when people come by my crib do I show them. They get to, you know what I mean? Like, I've also toyed with the idea of like potentially not releasing it publicly, and almost doing like a subscription based kind of like close quarters sort of like community where like
a Patreon or something,
where
people like only exclusive people will get, you know, if you're buying into it.
Exactly. So there's some sites that are doing it. I've also toyed with the idea of just like starting our own, getting some servers going and like starting that up, having full control. But it's just stuff that I really want people to hear, because like this song, that not the one that's the wrestling one, but it's just like it's a word that I always said that my friends made fun of me in high school, because I would be like, oh, that's valid, and they would just like they just always made fun of me. So I just decided I'm gonna make a track called Valid. It's just like back to my roots, and so everything that I've been making is so authentically me, and so I've been like, you know, how am I gonna, that's why I kind of like taking it back to my roots, like shaving my head, Like I lost my hair, I lost my image, I don't like lose my hair, I'm gonna grow it back, but
Right.
like I just wanted to kind of like do away with like the quote unquote facade that that I had going, because you build yourself up in certain people's eyes for so long, and you almost like start to wonder, like, you know, with the imposter syndrome of like, is that really me, or like is that just who people think I am?
Right.
And like obviously I've always treated music with like a level of authenticity that like that's what that valid song's about. It's
For
like
sure.
everything out of my mouth is valid. Like I can back everything I say and everything I do, because like I do it with intention, and like I believe in what I'm doing. But you still have to like wonder sometimes, like, why are you doing it? And that brings me full circle, like how we started this conversation of like the happiness. It's like, don't take your eye off the prize. Setting goals is important for achieving things that you can be proud of. Going on tour, like, dude, if nothing else happens, I got stories for my grandkids, man. I'm very happy with that, but like I hit such a wall after that, because when you set a very, very difficult goal to attain, and then you attain it, you're almost like not prepared for what the next step is. And like scaling and knowing what like the ultimate plan is. Like since I started rapping, I had like a 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plan. Didn't achieve the 5 year plan until the 6th year, which is why you don't give up. Like that wrestling thing taught me a lesson, man. I was like, I'm not gonna stop, because I know for sure that you only fail if you stop.
Exactly.
You just persevere and keep going no matter what, but don't lose sight of the ultimate goal, which is just to be happy and enjoy what you're doing with your life.
Yeah. I mean, that's been your catalog like this whole time too. Like it's just been like I haven't seen many people that like really stick to themselves of like who they are as far as like their music and like doing it your own way. Like you definitely have like a Just for Kicks like sound where it's like you hear it and you're like, yeah, that's Just for Kicks. Like I could definitely, hear that again. Like Local Celebrity, what the heck, like Vanity, like those kind of, like you hear like those beats and like even like down to like the production, like you hear this like the even like the beat come in, you're like, oh yeah, this is gonna be like a Just for Kicks song. Like
that's so funny.
That's cool, and it's like, but the concepts that are within it, it's like you already know, like you hear it, yeah, that's Just for Kicks. Like there's no denying that like it's true, and now you get to kind of have that nostalgia again of diving back into like your childhood, like the wrestling and all these other things that like, made you happy at one point in your life, and now you get to like almost remake it happy again. Not that it like just the happiness disappeared, but you know what I'm saying? Like you get to take a moment from the past, bring it to the present, and allow it to make you happy again.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing to like at my age, like I got my neighbor who is living next door to me again, and like we grew up living next to each other, and it's like when you're a little kid you don't really understand how life works. You're just like, yeah dude, you're gonna live next to me for my entire life.
Right.
And then like we moved away, and you come to terms with like the fact that like life changes and moves in weird ways, and then like now that he lives next to me again, I'm like, dude, this is exactly how I imagined life at 8 years old.
Yeah,
this is where I thought I would be at 29. So it's like so it's been a beautiful thing like hanging out with him. We he has his son that like likes wrestling, so we like have kind of like gotten back into like watching some wrestling with him, and like
so it's like full circle.
Yeah, almost. but the difference is like now I got Autumn, and he has his wife and they're like chilling on the couch with us and like willing to like be involved in that, and like and Autumn is so supportive of me like enjoying those like innocent, like childish things, because like she knows like I work hard and she works hard, and like what makes her happy and what makes me happy is like important to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool to, you know, be an adult and have a
Right.
significant other that like has somebody that cares about you so much, but then still get to like in your free time be a little bit of a kid.
Right. You have to, and you know, as long as you're happy and it's not, I mean, obviously it's not something that is going to be damaging to you, and it doesn't like really take away from, you know, spending quality time, because you guys do it together, and it's like, let's be happy together and just have some nostalgia. Let's enjoy something that, you know, maybe not initially was like, I don't know if it was ever her cup of tea, but I'm saying like, you know, like you said, like she just wants to make sure you're happy, you know, and like will embrace and dive into, you know, things that make you happy because she wants you to be happy.
Right.
You know, at the end of the day, it's like the same thing with music. You know, she
put up with a lot. She put up with a lot
for the music, you know, and it's like,
we got a studio in our basement. Like,
right.
She could be storing all kinds of stuff that she wants in there, but she lets me have that. So,
you know, and it's good to
I love her unconditionally.
Yeah, for sure. It's good to have people in your corner like that, especially your significant other.
I think those are the only people I have in my corner at this stage in my life. I think something that I've been like thinking about recently is like, for so long, I never understood the people that were like, keep your circle small, right? And and I'm like, nah, man, I just like making friends.
Yeah.
So
just a genuinely nice guy that just likes to talk to people.
So I'm like, why would I keep my circle small, right? And my circle's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, and like obviously like the term networking, like that becomes a helpful tool to like have a wide and broad circle. But like as you get older, the quality of the people that you're spending your time with just like becomes increasingly important to me. And now it's like, with the little time that I have out of my like day job,
right,
instead of, you know, trying to meet someone in the music industry that is going to help me further my career, I generally rather like get with who is now my roommate, my boy Cam, who used to go by Clueless. He's going to be doing a little rebrand here, but he's living with me now, and it's like, dude, I can just like rap with you in our home studio,
right,
and like bring it back to when we first started rapping. It was me, him, and Q Quick, and like, you know, Q Quick is a dude that I'm gonna go see this weekend. Like our like his wife and my fiance like get along famously. Like, it's like it's become more about like the people that I'm still spending time with are like family, and not only just like my blood family, but like those friends are like they're family to me. Like, and I just am so much happier on my like day to day with like what I get out of that. Like, I used to be very driven with the music, and like kind of got like almost like a high out of like, oh, I made a connection with this person, and like this is gonna help me in this way, and it did. Like, the proof is in the pudding. Like, it did. It helped me. It helped me incredibly. But like, when you have like the people that you're spending your time with, and that are just like, they want nothing else but what's best for you, and you want nothing more than like what's best for them, like the energy that you get, like that you can like produce in that atmosphere is what I think like life is really about.
Right. I think it improves just like your quality of life, and it just makes everything else enjoyable. Because then you're just like, okay, oh, like I feel good. Like, so then, if you do go to like work on music, you're like, I'm already like in a good like space. Or if you're
Yeah.
just like, spending time with Autumn, like, we just spent time with friends. Now, like, I can spend time with you. And like, I'm just like in a good space. Like, don't ruin it for me. Like, don't let nobody from the outside that doesn't need to be in the circle like ruin this.
Right.
Like, just I'm at peace. Like, we're not always gonna have peace, but like when I have it and I can control it, I'm gonna make sure that I have peace. With the things that I can control, like I'm gonna have peace. Things that I can't control, it is what it is. It's out of our hands.
Peace is the word, man.
Yeah.
That's the exact word that I was not saying. That's exactly how I feel. Like it's more about like just having that peace, because like yes, things are gonna stress you out. That's inevitable. That is life.
Right.
The good wouldn't be so good without some bad.
You wouldn't know what good is if you didn't have bad.
Absolutely. But like if you can just like sit in those moments with those people and recognize and have gratitude for how wonderful it really is that you have what you have. It's like, it can, I think some people are afraid to like stunt their drive. They like need to stay in grind mode, so to speak. It's out of grind mode cypher. That was
I know. I was just gonna say that sounds like, yo, shout out to grind mode cypher for that.
But like just staying in that like perpetual push, it's exhausting.
Very exhausting.
And like ultimately, like you need to recognize like what are you working towards? Because if it's something that you've already got, enjoy it. If it's something that you're never going to have, you have to enjoy the process.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm doing now. It's just like I was for a long time pushing toward something, and I was enjoying the process as it was happening, but not as much as I could. And now I'm just like, I'm so happy with what I did throughout my whole 20s. And I just want to like enjoy the process of every little thing that I do moving forward.
Yeah.
And it's just like every day, dude, I'm sitting in bed or on my couch or something like that at the end of my day, and I'm just like, man, like this is
good.
Great.
Yeah,
life
is
good.
Man.
It is. It's so good.
Yeah, because I remember like this, was it like December? December was like my, not like lowest, I don't want to say lowest, but it was definitely one of those moments where I was just like, dude, what am I doing? Like I was stressing out about the pod, like trying to put episodes together. Meanwhile, I was in that mindset of like, I gotta work. I gotta get like all this stuff done. I gotta get this done. And like, it felt like work. And again, going back to what we've been talking about, it's like, I wasn't happy. Like we were making progress. Like the pod was making progress, music was making progress, and just like my own way and whatever. But I was like, it's not fun anymore. Like I'm getting stressed out. I'm worried about episodes. I'm worried about posting. We got the thumbs up from that. It agrees. Dude, there's so many different things that we found out about this thing that I was like, okay, like we do a thumbs up, it'll give a thumbs up.
Yeah.
You do a thumbs down, it'll do a thumbs down. If you put 2 thumbs up, let's see if it works. You get fireworks. Like it's crazy.
Oh yeah, that's is this the same thing for
2 thumbs down is see if it catches it. You get rain. So
oh wow.
Yeah. So
wait, I gotta try something.
We haven't tried. Oh, we haven't even tried that. Okay.
Laser show.
All right. So we figured out a new one today. So shout out to Just for Kicks for helping us figure out a new one. But yeah, I was just like, this isn't fun, and I'm like super stressed out. And I was like, I told like everybody, I was like, I need to just, I literally like left things in a sense, not in like a bad way, but I was like, if I don't get a post out, or my regular series of posts, like, so I can just mentally get myself back where I need to be, where this is just, it's fun again. Like, I'm cool with that. So like for like 2 weeks it was like, I'm sure you don't keep track, but I'm just like, if anybody that was keeping track or whatever, not that I care, but like fell off for a little bit, and I was like, I don't care. I was like, I need this to fall off because I need to get back to where I need to be so that it's fun. Like even this past week, like I didn't post as much, and shout out to Dan Bauer for his episode, but again, it was one of those moments I was like, I need to, I'll put some stuff out, make sure I promote it, but I was like, I need to, because I need to get where it is. Now I'm like, episodes are good. Like Murph's is already uploaded, and we just shot it yesterday.
Nice.
Like, it's ready to go. I got clips for Kyle Goldstein ready to go.
Oh,
that just dropped
shout
yesterday.
Out Goldstein.
Yeah, that was a super dope episode too.
I can't wait.
That just dropped yesterday, so it's like, it's just in a good place. And like you said, like the things that you're allowing in, like people have to look at that, because some people are like, oh, my life is trash and it's crazy and I don't know, but like, dude, like what are you letting into your life? What are you allowing, the things that you can control? And like you said, like I'm controlling the people that are around me, the time that I'm spending with people, and my peace. I'm controlling that.
Yeah, I'm big on accountability, and like I've always been like that, you of the mind that you live the life that you allow yourself to live. And
100%.
And what you said about like, like pausing on like content and everything like that because it was stressing you out, like I did that, and then I just like never really got back to posting because I was just so enjoying not being tied to that.
Yeah,
anymore.
it's a pain in the
it is. It is.
Exhausting.
And like I love like looking back at like that's why I'm so glad I'm like on this podcast and stuff, and we're catching up, like because you're one of those people that are like that I want in my circle, like for like spiritual growth, and like and it's just great that we can like kill two birds with one stone, you know what I mean? Make some content and like and have a genuine rewarding conversation.
Right.
But there was like I was like steady with the socials and all that stuff, and then I just stopped, and I was like, man, I like this.
Yeah.
At first I stopped mostly because I was just so busy with my day job. I was like trying to stack paper and whatnot, try to get back on the road, and then I was just like, yeah, I'm happier without social media. And then now just this year I'm slowing down with the day job. I'm getting more of a handle of like a steady schedule, which is then going to leave me time for creative.
Yeah.
But like I don't see myself being as vigorous with like with posting on social media as I was in past years.
Yeah, it's just exhausting. And then it's like, what do we really get as people from it? Yeah, like we're trying to like reach out to other people and get ourselves promoted and yada yada yada. Okay, but like at the end of the day, like to me it's not rewarding.
Yeah,
like the vanity of social media, like it's not rewarding to me, of trying to get people's attention exhaustingly. Like, oh, I gotta post every single day. Like if you post like here and there, whatever, yeah, cool, whatever. But you know what I mean? Like the fixation of always having to post all the time.
Right. And that always came from trying to grow something, right? Trying to expand a fan base, trying to like really get your music heard. But like, dude, after I did tour and like I met people face to face, like people in Missouri that were like, I've been waiting years for you to come out here. And I'm like,
damn,
what?
That's crazy.
Like, and I'm like, how do you know about my music? They're like, you messaged me on Facebook like years ago. Damn. And I was like, that worked? Like, it's just, it was always like the goal was like trying to like attain these fans. And then it's just like, well, now that I had all these fans, I was building relationships with them online and like understanding who they are as people. And they started to become more friends than fans. Like someone like Matt Reynolds, like
Yo, shout out to Matt Reynolds. That's the guy.
him and Crispy were just like fans. Like technically, like Autumn was just my first like real fan.
Yeah.
And then, you know, now we're getting married.
Right.
Like it was just a way for me to like show people who I am, and then like people that were receiving that well, once I gave them the time of day to like learn about them, like we have a lot in common. That's why they enjoy my music. And so then it's like everyone's turning into friends. Like I have fans in Vermont and stuff that now it's like, okay, I just want to like go like visit you guys and like hang out with you guys. And
right, it's bigger than music.
Yeah, way bigger. And then like you mentioned a name earlier, Dan Bauer. Like that dude's one of my closest friends, and we were introduced by the homie Juan Kenobi, who like I'm so glad is someone that I actually see regularly still.
Word.
But like Dan was just like a friend that like, you know, we both rapped, and then he was producing some tracks for me, and then he started drumming for my tracks.
Yep.
And then like now it's like we don't really make music like that together anymore. Like I am sitting on a beat. Me and Aaron Brown might do something on a little talk box beat that he made. But like it's that just comes from us like chilling, listen to like a song that somebody used a talk box, and we're like, yo, that's fire. Like he's like, yo, I'm gonna make a beat with that, and then I'll send it to you. And it's just like, all right, cool. Like that, I enjoy that so much more than me like trying to be like, oh, who's the next like hot producer I can like get a beat from, so that people are gonna like go nuts and be like, yo, he got a beat from, you know, some like wicked well-known producer. Like, dude, trust me, I'm showing up at studios and shaking hands with people doing crazy things, but I'm not posting a selfie with them on social media anymore. Yeah. I'm just tired of it.
Yeah.
I way rather be like, the guy's a way cooler in person than I thought he would be. And that I'm happy with that. And then now when I see them posting on social media, I'm cheering them on in a different way, because I'm just like, I'm happy for them personally than like I'm trying to like get them to notice that I'm supporting them so that I can like get a beat from them. And
or getting people to see you hanging out with them to be like, oh, he's in that circle. Oh, you know, now, you know, trying to like use those people to like boost yourself up instead of just like you've been like just being genuine with people and just making friendships, conversations, and just real life stuff. Then the rest of that stuff will follow regardless.
Oh, yeah, you know that's the best part.
Because you just messaged somebody in Missouri, just, you know, hey, what's up, or whatever, you messaged them and made it personal, and then all of a sudden just being a genuine person and having an actual genuine conversation. Again, I don't know the actual what you said, but it's like, and then you show up years later and they're like, yo, I've been waiting for this.
Yeah.
moment. And it's like, oh, from a conversation.
And that actually ate me up a little bit inside. Like what I'm enjoying now is that life is so much less transactional. But what the anxiety came from, especially post-tour, was like, okay, I got people's attention. They saw me on stage. They liked what I was doing. That means they are of like-minded people.
Right.
Okay, now I have your attention. Now the goal was like, keep the attention, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that's where I got exhausted.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, man, like how do I hold your attention? And now, like, there's people that I miss a little bit, because like they kept in contact after tour, and like I stopped producing so much content, so they don't reach out anymore. But then there's still the people that do, and they reach out constantly, and like I'm just like cool with whatever amount of things that I put out, however it helps them. Like I'm okay with that, because it's like I'm not holding myself to the standard of like that I have to do these things. Like
right.
my own happiness, the people that are like closest to me, happiness comes first. And then it's like anytime that I put out content that I'm very proud of and is very like authentically me, these people are gonna either see it or they're not, and like that's not really my concern anymore, because let's be honest, like it's up to the social media algorithms that we were fighting against, tied against for like so long, and it's just like I way rather just, and that's why I was toying with the idea of like just making like a very like closed community of like subscription based, just like I can put out content, but it's because like I want to put it out and you want to see it. I don't want to navigate any other noise than that.
Yeah, because you'll genuinely see the people that want to see it, because they'll, you know, invest the 5, 10, 20, whatever it is, because they're like, no, like I really care and I want to invest in this and see this.
Yeah.
And it's like, and you'll eliminate the people that were there not necessarily there for the hype of, oh, he just went on tour, now I'm gonna follow him, and then now that he's not posting, and forget it, like bandwagon type of thing.
Yeah, I want to be clear. Like earlier, I was talking about these like insane features that I'm like so happy I got. Like the reason I'm happy that I got those is because like I have a relationship with them as human beings.
Right.
So it's not about the fact that like I like achieved like some sort of I don't know, like check off of a box. Like it's just like, yo, like I really liked this person's art. It inspired me with my own art, and now we've shared like in a friendship that has turned into the ability to like then make art together authentically, and like that in itself is just like what I'm proud of. And being able to do those songs, like, but like pulling from like the me that was like back in high school, like when I was listening to these people, like some of them, like it's just, I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it very selfishly, first, so that the people that are most like me or can gain the most from me are going to enjoy it too. I'm not too worried about impressing anybody else.
Yeah. It's more than transactional.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes, you know, we reach out for features and then it's like, okay, like, you know, how much you charge, or hey, like, you know, here's the beat and then just send me your verse and then we'll put it out and then cool. And then it's like, there's, you know, where's the, again, this is a journey, and like where is like the just the connection and the growth and the just the I guess the word that comes to mind is like meaning behind it. You know, why did you choose this person? Like, why did you, you know, not just because, you know, maybe they have like a great voice, but it's like, what are you getting out of it? You know, and again, for you, you know, which it's how it should be. It isn't just transactional. It's like we've built a history, you know, a personal history, and like we talked about earlier, you hear it differently.
You do.
When you hear the song, when it's something that is genuine and not just forced out of having to create or having to put something out, but it's like, no, like we've built this relationship and everything that we've put into this song is authentic because it just came naturally, because we didn't force it, and it's that much better of a song. Whether people receive it that way or not, I'm happy with it, and this is the way that I wanted to create it, and the heck with everybody else. And I'm just happy of how it came out because we did it this way in the right way.
100%. That's where we live in now.
Yeah, it's a good mindset, because I think people just get into that transactional, and I think people get into that, oh, if I just get that, you know, Tech 9 feature or that, you know, that big name. I don't know why Tech Nine came first in my head.
Yeah,
but,
he's the godfather
you
of
know?
independent hip hop, man.
But it's like,
I
you know,
mean,
you get that feature and it's like, oh, this will take me over the top. Or if I just get a picture with this person, everybody's going to start looking at me because I'm in a picture with this person. Or they're going to start asking questions like, yo, how did you meet this person? Oh, that's so cool. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you must be, you know, up there and you're doing this or you're doing that. It's like, no, maybe I just saw him at a diner and we took a picture, you know, but people can also play that off too, you know.
yeah. I mean, the thing is the sad part is like doing that and getting that same reaction that you were seeking.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I was at. I was like, it was all going very, very well.
Yeah.
It doesn't improve your quality of life as much as the things that I talked about earlier do.
Yeah.
Like it's like, and that's what, like, I rather spend my time with like the young bucks, like Aaron Brown, dude. I believe wholeheartedly that dude can achieve career wise with music far more than I ever have. So it's like, if you want to like make an impact on the music industry, like, you don't be so like focused on yourself or you know, only looking like in the mirror for something big. Like what Minds of One Collective Genius has always been about is like, you know, like sharing in everything we get. And so like I'm still getting opportunities just based off of like the name that I've made for myself, but I'm sharing those opportunities now because it means more to these young guys that are like coming up and like have this like trajectory going, that I way rather be a part of that than continue on the path that I was on. Because, you know, like I said before, like I'm not going to stop by any means. And I don't even view it as slowing down.
Yeah.
It's just a change of course to have the values aligning with just where I'm at in life. And I always knew that was going to happen, and I think that's what the rush was early on, was just like, gotta get to this point before this happens.
Yeah.
And then you hit that point and you're like, okay, well, now I'm going to focus on my other dreams. And they still involve music, but like I'm going to get married and have kids, and like I'm going to be living everything I saw for myself, because I've already done a lot of it. But we young, man. We still got a lot to do.
Yeah, I'm still pushing, man. I definitely have a different mindset, a different vision. And again, like you said, like building off of relationships of people that I've met, like things are in the works. And I'm like, okay, like this is how it needs to be done. And like, again, like you said, I think we found it necessary that everything doesn't need to be out there for everybody to see. Like, let us just move. Let us just do what we need to do. We'll share what we need to share, but it doesn't, the progress that we're making, the growth that we're making, the things that we're doing, it doesn't need to be in everybody's face for us to know that we're making that progress.
There's a law of attraction.
You know, and it's like people, you know, we see all the time, people gauge your success on what they see, and it's like, dude, there's so much happening behind the scenes that you have no idea. Again, speaking of, you know, we keep going back to different things, but it's like, you know, just looking at your life, you're going to get married now, like, you got fiance, you know, you're making music that you actually, not that you didn't make music that you actually want to make, but like you're having fun with it, you know, you're enjoying it. It's like, these are things that are true success and true growth in our lives that people miss a lot of the times. You know, they miss the mark on it. They're just like, oh, it's got to be how much money I'm making, how many fans I'm making. It's like, dude, that stuff can disappear, man. Numbers can drop. Money can get spent. really quickly.
Really quickly.
Look at tax season, man. Look at all these people that are getting their taxes soon. How quick is that money going to go?
Yeah.
For many people, unless they think about it and what's really important.
That's the other thing too, man. Like the investments that I was making towards music were a lot heavier, and like now, like I'm again super grateful. That is the theme here. Is like all that hard work certainly is paying off. Where like people want to do things for me and with me that I don't have to monetarily spend what I once did because I'm not the low man on the totem pole anymore, but like my priorities are different. Like, so I'm not going to invest the same money that I once did in music, but luckily, like, I have so much, like, having the home studio helps.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I've like built so much to be able to be in that place. And just that, like, you know, opportunities tend to like come to me now, where like I don't have to like grind like I used to for those opportunities, and like I'm just soaking that up. I'm enjoying it. I love that, like, even though I can't be on the road with like my homies that I toured with, when they come to these cities, you bet I'm playing those shows because the fans want me there. They want to see me again. Like, like it's always good to like catch up with dudes and like and just enjoy what you have instead of worrying about like getting something else. And that's why I like briefly just like said like the law of attraction, because like we're coming from this place of confidence that like I know what I'm doing behind the scenes. I don't really care who sees it and who doesn't, because like I just know what I'm doing. I have that confidence that like when this is released, the people that need to see it, need to hear it, will. And
100%.
and this is why I'm making it. So there's no chase anymore, man. Like I'm gonna let everything just come to me.
Yeah, it's not forced.
Yeah.
You know, and it just happens organically. And it just flows, and it's that much easier. Because then you're just, there's, you know, we said before, like, there's not that pressure. It's just like, all right, cool. And then, you know, like you said, the people roll into town. All right, we got a show. Cool, let's catch up.
Dude, it's crazy, like, how hard I worked for certain things that, like, now better things than what I was, like, working so hard for just fall into my lap. Like,
you're like, man, I did like nothing in this.
Yeah, and it's just like, and like, you know, dude, even like, I don't know, like it definitely, I'm glad I put in the work so that I could be in this situation, but like people are like, yeah, it must be nice, and it's just like you gotta let that come to you. You gotta be like 2 feet planted.
Yeah, fast.
I'm not moving. So things better come to me. Like everyone told me I would have to go to Los Angeles to have any sort of success in entertainment. I planted my 2 feet. Londonderry, New Hampshire. Wasn't going to go nowhere. Still haven't. And like now they got Studio Labs 10 minutes from my house popped up, and it's like you can shoot an entire Hollywood movie there.
Right.
Like there's no need for me to go anywhere. Like I got the recording booth in my house. I got the Grammy nominated producer engineer Knox 10, 15 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
Also in there. Like it's like, dude, like that, you just like stand firm and let it attract. And like those were the staying in Londonderry thing was like always my thing. That was my stamp from like the get.
Yeah.
But now I'm just seeing it in other ways of like those show opportunities and stuff. And like, dude, like I went to go check my email, and it reminds me, I gotta ask you off air, but like somebody just like messaged me and was like, I want you on my podcast. And I was just like, I don't even know how you got my email, but like, that's the kind of stuff where I would seek that out before. And now it's just people just ask me like, hey, will you come on, do this, do that. and they're people that I trust and want to be around. Like Ryan Vizina, again, started as just like a fan, turned to a friend. Now, part of that music video I was shooting with Ben Prue, it was shot at my old college, so New Hampshire University, again, going back to your roots. But like, that's because Ryan was like, yeah, come through my dorm. Like,
hey, that's it.
And then he had me on his podcast. And it's just like these are the types of people that I'm keeping in my circle, because it doesn't feel transactional. It's way more of like they're with the ultimate vision, and it's an enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
Through and through. Like me coming on here, sitting on your couch, talking to you is like
just chilling, man. Just
an enjoyable experience. So whoever sees this and gains something from it is all like plus on top of that.
Yeah, I know I did. And it's like just appreciating what you have. That's been definitely like one of the things that has like really kicked me, like especially recently. Like, and I'm glad like Crispy's not here, but shout out to Crispy, because like sometimes he keeps me level headed sometimes, because like, I'd be talking about like the pod, like, oh man, like, we need to get like a new camera, we need to get this, we need to get this, and he's like, dude, look at what we freaking have already.
He does that.
Like,
he does that.
And I'm like,
I love him for that.
I'm like, nah, man, you're right. I'm like, we got our own mics, we got like the whole setup already, like we got all this, and I'm like, dude, like, again, looking back from where we were, of me sitting in front of my laptop doing live streams, virtual live streams, to now just having this set up. I'm like, dude, just like soak in the fact that like of what we have and like what we're doing and the equipment that we have. And I'm like, dude, just appreciate it for like a second and like
100%.
Slow down. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I'm not like stressing about like having to purchase this or get that or have this person on the pod or have this person. Again, like, everything was happening organically. Like, not to toot our own horn, but I'm adding to what you were saying. It's like October, November, we had like December, January, actually October, we had November, December, and January pretty much full. Wow. Off of just, hey, like, we want to come on. Or,
That's
hey, this
crazy.
person like sent me over and was like, hey, you should be on this podcast. Like, yo, I was like, I can't even, like, people couldn't even schedule anymore because the app wouldn't let them, because it doesn't pan out that far. Like, it only does, like, it only did like 2 months. Wow. Like, we couldn't even get people. I was like, I'll have to do it on my side and send you something. So off of just taking a step back and just letting things happen and letting people have conversations. Kayla would have conversations with people. People would come in. Crispy would be like, yo, hey, now that Crispy's on the team, like, he would talk to people, yo, come on the pod. Oh,
that's how I got here.
Yeah, cool.
Again. First time was obviously through you.
Yeah.
But
so it's like
it's so that's again one of those situations where I'm like, I didn't know that like people like you were booked out so far that it's just like, it's nice to be me, where like it's just like, yo, let's get you on, and like we have that connection that like you're just like, will fit me in, even though you just did a podcast last night, like you'll have me right on immediately. And then the other thing that you had said was that like it's almost like the Right Mind podcast is growing legs of its own, right? Like you're like, people are organically finding out about it and wanting to come on through the other people on the show. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly how I feel about Mine's One Collective Genius, is that like seeing B Snare and Vincent Tesoro drop what they're doing, like all the songs that they've been putting out, and just like you with the Right Mind podcast, and just like all of these things. Like, I don't want to like, release any of the top secret stuff yet, but what's been going on in our chat with our artists, and like the way that things are flowing, while I've been just chilling and soaking in my happiness, like I've been talking about, like the fact that this thing is like grown legs of its own and ran is like exactly what we envisioned for it. Like that it didn't have to be like me or 13 ball like instructing people to do things.
Yeah, because I remember
It's
the
just a
meetings
collective.
that we used to have. We were like, oh, we got to do this. We got to do this.
Yeah.
This has to happen. And we got to
We
do
don't
this.
even do any of those meetings, but
then
like it just
everything is.
more is happening.
Yeah.
Way more is happening
Yeah.
through not trying to organize and not trying to. It's just one thing that I feel confident has an impact on that is that we prioritized early on just getting together so that we would get to know each other. Because I was like, at first it was like, we were all very ambitious artists, so we were all wanting to collaborate.
Right.
But those collaborations aren't as like free flowing as they are now, where it's like 5 years down the line, like I don't have to middleman anything. Like you guys are just mad close friends that like decide to like make tracks together, and like that's under this MOCG umbrella.
Right.
Like, and it really is the minds of one collective genius. There's no one person or two people deciding things. It's just like, it
is that collective of just, it's not like boss man and then like employees.
Yeah, there's zero hierarchy.
I've never felt like it's been like that. I'm just saying like we've kept that kind of mindset, this whole time, and it's been beautiful because people can be independent, but it works. I'm gonna be corny. Collectively as a group,
No, it's hard. It's hard to like explain what we're doing without using the words in minds of one collective genius. Like, if you try to explain what we're doing without using any of those words, it's just not going to make any sense.
Tough, yeah. But it works because there's no like pressure from the top of you guys got to do this, you got to do that. It's just everything has been just happening organically, and it's worked. People are like you said, people are collaborating with each other. Things are happening, again, that we're not going to air just yet, but things are happening, and we're seeing the fruit of it come from Vincent and B Snare, and then Murph's been working on his stuff and making connections with other people that are gonna, we know it's gonna circle around, and it already has, and I've seen the stuff that's happened. Murph's been working with BG, and and then I got involved in some of the stuff over there, and then I've been trying to reach out to Cody Pope, and reconnecting and things like that. But then it's like everything has just like been interconnecting, but it's been seamless, and it hasn't been forced because people are just able to be independent, and it works out for the whole group. And then even for the pod, it's like we do our own thing as a pod, me and L.Y.F.E, and Crispy, and obviously Kayla, not to exclude them, but again, just MOCG. I mean, we're all MOCG family anyways, but
yeah, Crispy literally has it tattooed on him.
Yeah, like,
that's what it is, dude. It's bigger than like anything that we can like set boundaries on, like, because it keeps growing, and like you just mentioned a name like Cody Pope, like that dude gave me a show when like no one would book me.
Same. He's
like,
the one that got me like my first show.
That's how I know you.
Artist. Yeah, that too.
And what's really cool is I have a little show announcement. I haven't played a show since October with Justin Clancy and Cody Pope. Mm-hmm. Next show in Sugarbush, Vermont.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go up, rap, do some snowboarding. Nice. But me and Cody Pope are going to be performing. And shout out to Mr. Burns for having us up at Sugarbush. Right. I went there last year with you, and Michael Murphy III, and like we had a hell of a time. And I was like, man, like next time I come back here, I got to be like snowboarding. So I booked some time off from work. We're gonna go up there, do a little rapping, we'll do a little boarding, and hang out. And I just like Mr. Burns told me Cody Pope was gonna be on that show, and I was just like, say less,
can't
man.
Make
like,
it, yeah.
Couldn't have made me more at home, man. Like, Love that.
That's dope. That's dope, man. On that note, man, that's a good way to bring it to fruition, man. This has been
That's
cool.
right. That's right. Let me not say the wrong date here,
Yeah,
but
be on the lookout,
we got the
y'all.
next show at Sugar Bush, Vermont on March 7th.
Dope.
Thursday, March 7th.
Okay.
It's called the Rex. Is where we'll be performing. Really, really dope spot. This guy from New York has the place like decorated like Wu-Tang. Like it's crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy,
it's a dope
and
spot.
he makes crazy good food too. So I'll see y'all there. Sugar Bush, Vermont, March 7th.
Dope, man. I know. I'm excited. I'm excited to hear the music. I'm excited to see the visuals. Everything that you've been
Yeah. I mean,
keeping in the tuck.
while we're on the announcement train, also in March, I'll be releasing a new single. It's called "I Did It." Music video to follow, but at least that single will be dropping in March as well. So stay tuned for that.
For sure, man. I'm excited, man. Well, I appreciate you coming back. We definitely have to make this not a year and some
odd months.
time.
Yeah, I can't wait to come back,
Well,
man.
I mean, we had the engagement party. That was fun.
That's right.
That was a dope. Good time. But definitely got to make it more frequent. I know
Absolutely.
life is. I know things have settled down too, so we can kind of get back. Like my weekends are free and stuff.
Yes,
and we can
sir.
kinda
It's go time again.
settle back into the good stuff. But like I said, appreciate you. Just appreciate you. Not even just coming.
Yeah,
on the pod,
yeah.
but
Like
just
podcast
appreciate
aside, I just appreciate you
everything,
as
man.
well.
So,
But thank you for having me as well,
yeah,
because
of course.
it's awesome to come on this podcast, seeing it like grow and grow.
Yeah.
And I hope the next time that I come on, it's just like that much,
Yeah.
that much growth has exponentially
It's for
happened.
the team, man. It's for the team for sure. Well, I want to thank everybody that's tuned in. I want to say God bless. Shout out to the whole Right Mind podcast team. I know we're looking a little limited today, but it is what it is, and we continue and we push forward. They're in our hearts. Shout out to Kayla, L.Y.F E, Krispy. Shout out to MOCG as well, as we've been kind of addressing this whole night. Squad up. But until next time, my name is Jay Faith, and we got...
Just for kicks, baby.
And this is the Right Mind Wednesdays podcast. We'll catch y'all next time. What's up?